We are Lagos Talks 91.3.
Let's talk.
And let's head over now to boxing. WBC heavyweight champion Tyson Fury says he will announce his next opponent next week, but confirmed it will not be Usyk Alexander. Fury, who's 34 years old, said he was retiring from boxing after beating Dylan White in April. Ukrainian Usyk retained the WBO, IPF and WBA super titles with victory over Anthony Joshua last month. Both have spoken of fighting each other in 2023, but Fury says he will be fighting someone else pretty soon.
Still with boxing story, Andy Ruiz Jr. floored Luis Ortiz 3 times on his way to returning with a victory in the ring. The pair headlined over 12 rounds in Los Angeles, with former unified heavyweight champion Ruiz walking away with a points win. He dropped Ortiz twice in round 2 before putting the Cuban veteran down again in the 7th. The scorecard revealed the fight to be close, with Ruiz's knockdowns actually securing him the victory.
And let's head over now to football on the African continent. Bayelsa Queens of Nigeria clinched the Waffle B title of the zonal qualifiers for CAF Women's Championship League after defeating Ghana's Ampem Dakoa ladies, that's 3-0 in the final that took place on Saturday. Nigerian League champion won the trophy thanks to 3 first-half goals at the Yamoussoukro Stadium in Côte d'Ivoire to secure the right to represent Waffle B at the top flight Women's Continental Club competition that is to be played later this year. Goals by Miracle Joseph, Flourish Sebastian, Chioma and Chinyere Igbomalu before the break sealed the emphatic victory and secured their place at the tournament in Morocco.
Still in women's football, Nigeria's Super Falcons on Saturday lost 4-0 to world champions USA in the opening game of their 2-match tour. Sophia Smith put the home team ahead in the 14th minute with compatriot Lindsay Horan doubling the lead 25 minutes later. Smith scored another from a single tap-in just into other time to increase the scoreline to 3 for the hosts. 7 minutes into the second period, Alex Morgan made it 4 for the Americans from the penalty spot. Both teams will clash again in the second match of the 2-day tour at the Audi Field in Washington, D.C. on Tuesday.
Still talking the continental activities, Rabat, the city that hosted the successful Total Energies Women's Africa Cup of Nations, will host the 2022 edition of the Total Energy Super Cup on Saturday. That's the 10th of September. Kickoff is at 1900. That's 7 p.m. GMT in Cairo, and the match will be played at Prince Moula Abdallah Stadium. The Super Cup final will be played by 2 Moroccan clubs, Wydad Athletic Clubs, winners of the CAF Champions League, and RS Berkane, that's the CAF Confederation Cup champions. This is Wydad's 4th final, and they go level with Raja Casablanca for the most Super Cup final appearances for any Moroccan team.
Still at the CAF competitions, Nigeria and South Africa will be notable absentees from the African Nations Championship after qualifying for the 2022 finals in Algeria concluded on Sunday. Ghana pipped rivals Nigeria on penalties after a 2-2 aggregate draw, while South African slumped to a 4-1 loss at home to Angola, who triumphed 6-1 overall. Leading nations who will be at the 7th edition of the tournament reserved for home-based stars include Senegal, title holders Morocco, Cameroon and the Ivory Coast. Trailing 2-0 at the first leg, Nigeria staged a late rally in Abuja to win the return match by 2-0 through goals from Zekifulu Rabiu and Chijioke Akuneto from an added time penalty. Ghana converted all 5 sport kicks in the shootout, while Maurice Ugochukwu missed to eliminate 2018 runners-up Nigeria. The dramatic victory took 2-time beating finalist Ghana back to the finals after failing to qualify for the last 3 editions.
And referees' bodies, PJ Moore has effectively accepted controversial VAR decisions made at Chelsea and Newcastle were wrong and will fully cooperate with the Premier League review of the incidents. The decisions denied Newcastle United and West Ham goals against Crystal Palace and Chelsea, respectively. Both teams thought they had scored and the goals were confirmed on pitch referee, but in each instance, the goals were now disallowed after VAR.
The Trump's transfer stories to go through. Former Chelsea striker Diego Costa is going to have a trial with Wolves this week to assess his fitness and suitability after injuries to forward Sasha Kalasic and Raul Jimenez. Costa, 33, has been without a club since leaving Brazilian side Atlético Mineiro in January. Also, Ross Barkley has signed with French side OGC Nice. The English midfielder was a free agent after his contract with Chelsea was terminated last week.
And finally, a goalie was shown a red card for peeing during an FA Cup match. Desperate Cornel Masego nipped off to send a penny when the ball went out for a goal kick. Despite preserving his modesty by going inside a hedge, the number one was sent off after rival players alerted the referee. The incident came in the 76th minute of a 0-0 first qualifying round draw between Connor's team, Blackfield and Langley, and Shepton Mallet. His co-manager, Connor McCarthy, was gobsmacked by Saturday's dismissal. And that concludes the News Hound.
Brought to you by Adu and Farawe. Thank you very much, investment bankers by excellence. For me, I don't know. That doesn't make much sense. The guy's pressed. He's got to go. I mean, and once he preserves his modesty, because I know a lot of ladies complain about Nigerian men. They're always ready to whip out their wang anywhere and anytime, So I'm not an advocate of public urination, but, that kind of situation. You got to go. For me, the top stories, you sound very rich this morning, but the saddest story this morning is the potential, and we all know what it's like once an athlete is flagged by the athletics verification unit. It's so unlikely that she's going to Grace Nwokocha. It's a very, very sad story. One, that was an absolutely brilliant run by our girls at the Commonwealth. Absolutely brilliant. So to think that there's a hint, something about anabolic steroids, sorry. That's really, what's the background, Athletics integrity, I said verification, athletics integrity unit. That's because, the B sample never clears the athlete. Never, it's not done. Once you're flagged, once you become, has anybody ever got out of it that there was a mistake or one thing or the other?
Not a popular person I know.
Yeah, exactly. So I mean, hey.
But this is the same unit that nipped Blessing Okagbari, for those who don't know. So I have to wait to see.
So that'll be very sad because she was one of our really promising.
If it means that they'll strip Nigeria of that gold medal.
Definitely to go to England. Definitely. What do you think about it, Grace Nwokocha's story? Is there any hope that she will?
It's quite unfortunate because it's as simple as that. Once one member of a team is caught in that web, they lose the entire.
Yeah, that's fine. That's fine. Yeah. No. So just work there. Yeah.
Okay. Once one member of a team, of a relay team, is caught in that web, that's done for the medal. But you see, the issue is that now we are not getting on the spotlight for things like this. Your Okagbari blew up a lot of things in our faces, and we all saw high-handed. We don't have to get to this point because now the satellite is going to be beam on our athlete, no matter the kind of performance. We just celebrated some of equaled and surpassed the record at World Championship. Had a world champion for the first time, but suddenly we are not seeing cases like this even at Commonwealth level. So what that does to our athletes is that now they're not going to be putting their now they will start
a cloud of substitution.
Now the categories now putting us on the spotlight is going to be big. It's going to be a big one for the AIU. So it doesn't speak well of Nigeria. But it's just one of it's an isolated case. But see, an isolated case when it becomes now Okagbari was our golden girl at one point. Now she was caught in this way. Now they will be looking at since this has happened again, so it means that we can start putting our eyes on this athlete and calling for. So it also means that, and at the time the minister is saying, we are not condoning this, we are not doing this. They set up the anti-doping organization, this thing. I think that should be the focus of that organization.
But she's not staying in Nigeria.
But you see, whether she's staying in Nigeria or not, she's a Nigerian athlete.
And the reason I'm saying this is because you mentioned, it's bad for Nigeria, which I agree. But in the US, for example, they get a lot of, I'm not comparing, I'm saying the US get a lot of cases. We've had maybe one or two. In the last 2 years, we've had two. Right? I'm only saying that ours is not as pronounced.
Not as prevalent.
No matter what you take, they cannot place you on the same pedestal with the US. No matter what.
I totally agree.
No matter their cases.
Because apart from that,
because now, US.
Hold on a second. I'm sorry to interrupt. I just want to make one point that the US has a larger volume of athletes anyway.
One, and two, they are testing, the level of testing is higher than Nigeria.
That makes
and they also have the facility to test in the US. How many do you have in Nigeria? We don't have.
Exactly.
How many WADA certified doctors do you have? WADA certified professionals do we have?
Oh, we know we have a doping problem. No, that's
so
if anybody's lying to us, that person is lying.
So it's also the capacity for the US to detect things like this because of their testing rate. You won't put them on the same pedestal with Nigeria.
The expertise of their personnel.
When the scourge of COVID was in the land, and you listen to the radio every day or the television, and they say Nigeria has only X amount of cases. Then I ask the question, how many people actually get tested? You understand?
But it's not something that it doesn't speak well. We just need to find a way out of things like this, because once your athletes are categorized as probably the worst category in that, it's not going to be good for you.
No, it's bad for image, to be honest with you, and it's not a good story. But a good story though in athletics, Ese Brume winning her first Diamond League long jump event. That's really good, and
good story. And the volleyball story, but it's likely going to be like that, especially in women volleyball. The Egyptians, the Moroccans, the Tunisians are well ahead of us. So, but the truth of the matter is that at least we are getting a new set of players, just like handball also. These countries will beat us, but at least we are getting a new generation of players playing for the national team, which is good. But we need to get consistent with the appearances, because we need to keep playing so that we can get, because everybody just saw Toby Amuso. Toby Amuso can be consistent. So we need to be consistent to catch up.
You know, the other day we're talking, I think Charles was mentioning the MK Abiola Stadium in Abuja. It's like saying something along that was a world-class edifice. Maybe when it was built in 2003, but I don't think it's been well maintained. We're talking about handball and volleyball and everything. Cairo's biggest stadium, where they had the Cup of Nations final when Senegal lost to Algeria, beat Senegal. They have so many different complexes. They have handball stadium inside one complex, handball stadiums, training centers, volleyball, the whole kit So basically, they will be.
No, but we too have some of these things. We just don't. We have.
Do you remember? No,
National Stadium. Have.
Yeah, but is it
National Stadium specific for handball?
Not handball. I'm saying that we have. No, I'm saying that we have National Stadium. We have quite a number of
halls that can be used for that.
Do you remember?
Specific.
Space is not halls.
The only specific we have is the grasshopper.
I was going to, and you know what? The grasshopper. That's, God bless you.
That's the only one.
Do you know what it is now? The last time I was there, it was a shopping mall.
Although when the EAJR became governor of Imo State, they looked into that case, because at the time they set up the sport commission. That was the former governor of Imo State. They set up the commission headed by Nzubechi. That was one of the focus. But you know, of course, politics will always set in. When politics set in, a little things will change. So, but Gasopar Stadium, that particular stadium needs to be revived.
No, that's what I'm saying. Because
the
last time I was in Owerri to cover Heartland or something, and I looked across the grasshoppers. They reigned supreme in Africa in the 80s and 90s. Reigned supreme.
They still have the team, but the team is a shadow of its own self.
It's a
shadow of its own self. But you see, when you look at Egypt, Morocco, and Tunisia, even Angola, the way their sport is structured, maybe ball games, the ball sport are structured, it's a multidimensional. If you have Primeiro de Agosto in Angola, they have a basketball club, they have a volleyball club, they have basketball, men and women. They've not set up for women for football, but they have basketball for men and women. They have volleyball for men, they have handball for men and women. They also have hockey. So now when you have those kind of structure, you can have those kind of facilities. In Egypt, Al Ali is both volleyball, handball,
everything,
basketball,
hockey, everything.
experience is same thing. So they are different. There's this club in Morocco, FES Rabat. It's the same thing. So when you have that structure in place, you can have those kind of things. In our own case, we don't have that. So you can't have those things in place unless the government will say, "Oh, we want to be the multi-sport complex where you have specific for handball, specific for volleyball, specific for hockey, basketball." We can do that. But at a club level, it's going to be pretty difficult. In Nigeria, how many sport clubs do we have? Canopy is a sport club. It's owned by the state government. Union Bank, but where are they today? First Bank, where are they today?
Yeah.
Where are they today? Even the paramilitary, immigration, custom, police, the NSCDC, they are sport club.
Yeah.
But if you look at the way the structure, some of them, they what we call decentralize the sport. Not just they are centralized in a particular place.
Yeah.
Even the FRSC, but we need to get to a point where they become an established system. Because in some of these paramilitary, when they change guard at the top, the person who's at the top may not be interested in sport.
Or the person may have an interest in one sport.
One sport, and the others will suffer.
I remember I had that experience in Ibadan. The head of the civil defense loved handball. Like it was what he loved. So handball automatically became their focus. So other sports suffered in terms of they went lower. Like football, he wasn't too excited about football. It was more about handball.
Well, at least he was a sports person.
So when you have that, and you see now these days when you look at the paramilitary and the military, they are all, especially the lowest those sports like handball, volleyball, a bit of basketball, and maybe hockey. If you check most of the clubs, it's either the state owned by the state government or owned by the paramilitary and military organizations.
Okay, moving away from that, at least we are going to be fluctuating. So we'll go from good to bad. So let's go to a good story. Bielsa Queens qualifying for the
CAF Women's Champions League.
And I'm particularly happy about Flourish Sebastian. I was surprised she wasn't called, but now I know why she was, for the because Esther Oyenezide was called up and all that. And to be honest, the girls are really stuck out for me. Not Falconet's sojourn to Costa Rica were Oyenezide. Is it Oyenezide? Okay, Esther. Yeah. Well, Esther and Flourish. Yeah. And Flourish really flourished. So to get on the score sheet and take us to the CAF Champions Women's League in Morocco, that's a good one.
And that's the only ticket.
Yeah, that's the
only ticket
from Waffle. Yeah.
Yes, and this was the same team they met in the very first game they drew. I think the beauty of it is that Bielsa need to just score, and they scored the highest number of goals at this tournament.
Yep.
At least we're not having a different variety from the Rivers Angels.
Yeah. And do you think they'll be better prepared this time around?
Well, they prepared for this tournament. This particular one, they prepared for this tournament. Why? The moment they won the league, they gave their players 3 weeks break. So the players returned and they started preparation. But they went for this tournament. They went 6 days before their first game.
Yes.
Okay. 6 days just to get used to the environment. 6 days before their first game. And so it's also good that the pool of competition, the pool this time. But you see, when you look at competitions like this, it's not as competitive. It's not going to be as competitive.
No, but my question to you now is: do you think they'll be better prepared for?
Because of preparation, they may have the best of preparation. Now, this is what I'm talking about. Sometimes I usually raise the Shabbat Nigerian club. In African football, you may be picked in a group where, okay, let me just use the Champions League. Let me digress. You have Barcelona, Inter Milan, Bayern Munich, and
Victoria Pleasant.
Now, likely 2 will qualify. It's either
obviously not likely Milan, 2 will obviously qualify.
Either Inter Milan will go out, Barcelona will go out, or Bayern will go out.
Okay, 2 of 3.
Like 2 of the 3 will go out. So now the question is: are you saying Inter Milan are not formidable opponents? No, they meet.
Or they're not well prepared.
No.
So
when they put them in the group, the luck of the draw is also very key.
Oh, I see.
And the group stage is very key. I always tell one that at the group stage, pay for the easiest draw. So by the time you approach the knockouts when you have no going back, then you know that that's when you get ready for the big game.
I was going to come also from the angle of, you mentioned preparations. You can do everything in terms of preparation, but if you don't have the personnel, that also plays another factor in how well you go.
That's a big issue. Now, because by the time they are approaching the Champions League, which is going to be in November, some of these girls will have contracts.
Yes.
You know, women football, their movement, their transfers are not like men. They can move.
Yes.
By tomorrow, you see a player just go for a tournament, By the time you are coming back from the country, the player is already somewhere signing another deal.
Because to tell you how complicated this matter was, when they went for the Super 6, they had the top scorer. The top scorer was not there. Even though she was on loan, she's not there now. So it already means
even
that
the same top scorer you talked about. Last season, she played for
Robo.
The same that
She played for.
She went to play for Rivers United, Rivers in the Champions League, this Women's Champions League. She came back to Robo again.
Then played
for Bayelsa in this season's Super 6. Led Bayelsa again and came back to Robo. So there are movements like that, and you're going to have a lot of this movement for Bayelsa.
Yes.
Why? By the time these girls are done, especially that flourish Sebastian, he's gone to the World Cup. The agent will be there telling them that we're not going to play for Bayelsa. We have a deal for you somewhere in Russia.
Yes. Or
US,
Sweden or something.
Sweden or Norway or Denmark.
We want to push you.
And she's going.
Yeah, sure.
So you can't stop them. So now the thing is that the structure for transfer in Nigerian Women League is a mess. So you can't have that stability.
Is it not the same thing
I can guarantee you one thing that Gift, if she comes back from the US,
she'll be looking for.
That she's going to play for Bayelsa Queens in this Champions League, like she did for Rivers Angels last time.
Okay.
Yes.
All right, that answers that question then.
That's good. So time for one bad story now.
Bad story. Our continued failure to qualify. Is this on?
It's third. Okay, no, second, back to back, second.
So it's continued. It's continued now.
No, second,
no, because it has started before.
We have continued. Back to back. The first edition we didn't qualify.
So we're saying this.
And the first edition was okay.
So it's continued.
She came and said, "Oh, we are breaking these drinks."
And we got to the semi-final.
It was for me. The reason why it's so bad.
Olise qualified us as well, did we not?
Olise also did 2016.
Yeah.
Salisu did 2018.
Yeah. Okay, when we got to the final,
the final in Morocco.
But we've not qualified since then.
We have not qualified since then.
That's why for me it is a problem.
It is
a problem because we have brought somebody who understands the team, who has been in the corridors.
Knows what to do.
For me, I wait for a coach to fail first before I attack. When he has not failed, there's nothing to see. But look, we've brought somebody who's been around the corridors of the Nigerian national team. He's been an assistant for a long, so you should know. They equipped you with individuals. You should know. You caught 35 players. I thought it was a lot, but the coach has his final say. We lost because
Femi, it was going to happen. I told someone that the first edition was against Ghana. We didn't qualify. Since then, we have not played Ghana in Chan. This is the second time we are playing them in Chan qualifier.
Well, but we did have. But at the end of the day, in fairness, because I have to give the boys a lot of credit. I mean, because I thought 2-0 was an insurmountable scoreline. To be honest with you,
no. At a game, when you are up against your internal rival in a crucial eliminator like this, a 2-goal deficit is as good as gone.
Yeah. We're saying the same thing.
As good as gone.
Yes, as good as done.
Gone.
So the boys,
but the fact that we were able to overhaul that, but it's also good. But it's also
lost.
It's like a beach too
Ghana
far.
has beaten us twice this year.
It's like a beach.
Twice.
It's like a beach too far.
We are losing to Ghana twice in 1 year.
You can lose. So are you telling me that you can beat Ghana? Even the qualifier, the chance. When I saw that,
I can let this one.
It was Nigeria that will play Ghana in the final qualifier, the final round of this qualifier. I told someone that we won't escape this.
No. My point here is that Ghana beat us the last time for the World Cup ticket. That hurt. Now we're meeting Ghana again. You feel that all hands on deck. We lost to Ghana again. Whether it is penalties, it is painful.
Femi, I'm not doing bargain right here. The fact is that the moment Ghana scale.
Is the Ghanaian league? Is the Ghanaian league miles ahead of us? No.
In terms of what?
In terms of personnel.
In terms of personnel.
Yes. Because let's not go to administration. We'll have problem there. So let's go in terms of personnel.
So why you say what happens in the boardroom affects what happens on the pitch?
Yes, but
so
but the quality that you have, because coming there, South Africa have a good league, but they did not qualify.
Okay, wait. But let me tell you the African story. Some of their big players don't show up for those teams, so they'll go to the last three clubs. You will find players from Pirates. You will find players from Kaizer Chiefs. They don't see this. The controversy happened in 2014. You know that was when it started. You don't know when it started. Even if Egypt decided to say we are not playing Chan, and the Egyptian player will not go and play Chan when you have a senior team, where some player, because what you are doing, you are dividing that team into two and saying no. They won't come up. The club will not release their player for Chan. So now this is it. South African clubs are saying because the Chan qualifier is not in the FIFA window. You know the South African league works with the FIFA window.
Yes.
They can release their player when it's FIFA free day. But anything outside that, they won't release their club. That was the controversy they have in 2014. When some of the big clubs say they are not taking their players to Chan. So then it's not in the FIFA calendar. So the big players, the big ones, will show up
They play at home because if
They
there's
don't
any,
play.
if there's
So what they will
team-
do now, they'll go and carry players from Chippa, Golden Arrows, the what's the name of this other club, Stellenbosch, to fill the team. So they won't go. So they are different scenario. If they are gone with those players that will take out our main Super Eagles out, that would have been a different team altogether.
Okay,
Let's
The last time they qualified, they hosted. Though.
Let's look for something.
Femi, the last time they qualified, they hosted.
let's
They
leave
didn't
that.
play qualifier.
Let's move on from that. We have so many stories to cover. Okay, Formula One.
No, I thought you were going to go to Super Falcons.
Oh, Super Falcons.
Super
They
Falcons.
lost to Fallen, not
Fallen.
to US.
There's nothing to say about Super Falcons
They will
losing.
lose that game now.
No,
I
no.
agree
For
that
My
we
own
will
is
lose
that
the game.
you know which 7.
That's
My own is that
For me, it's good.
and
It's
not
good. It's good practice for them.
Yeah.
It's good for them to play. You know,
No, it's good.
It's
It
good.
is, it is.
It's good
You see-
exposure.
You see, for
It's a
women,
friendly.
for women football, getting friendlies, you know, the calendars are different from the men, and getting friendlies pretty difficult. Why you get top grade friendly? So what you need to do, like what the federation are able to struck officially, play double header, play twice. Why play once when you know you're not going to get US again?
We play Canada twice.
Play
so
Canada twice.
yeah.
Why play double and it's good. People say, no, no.
I think it's great.
Play,
Oh, I
if
mean,
you have
in
opportunity of
fact,
playing Germany, play.
back to
Play
back.
England, play.
We played the Olympic champions and yes, and the current
The
world
world
champions.
champions.
Yeah, so
So play.
I'm playing them on Tuesday.
But
again.
also the beauty of it is that 5 players from that team that went to Costa Rica, I think some of them were part of this team, is good. We need to keep easing out some of those ones who have reached their prime and they don't have anything to give again, so that they will retire into coaching and start coaching young players. People, I think we have done this in the past.
No, but
In
some of these
2010,
players I'm talking about say get clubs.
in 20
Why don't they just sign a new
No,
deal? Why don't they just sign a new
No,
deal?
that they signed a new deal, no, but they can
With a
focus
new
on-
club,
they can focus-
a
they can
top
focus on their
club
club.
in
Let me
Europe.
tell you, in 2010, the World Cup in the World Cup, the Women World Cup and 20 World Cup, the final was Nigeria Germany. We lost that game.
Mm-hmm.
Okpanoji came from that generation. Okpanoji, Elenu Konu, Ugonjoku. I think there are 5, 6 of them who joined the Super Falcons because the African Women Championship for that year was being held in November. Mostly they hold this in November in South Africa. Those girls, after the World Cup, they took the outstanding one to the championship. That was Okpanoji's first title, major title. She was also outstanding in that tournament. She scored like 3 goals or 4 goals. Oshuala 2014, the same thing. The generation went to the African Women Championship. Oshuala became the highest scorer in that tournament. She won her first CAF award in that same thing. She was playing for University Rangers. So we need to keep pushing this. We mustn't allow that situation where one player will play on 20 twice. No,
that's
we
rubbish.
must at women
That
level.
that defeats the whole idea.
No, it defeats the whole idea. Whether she's younger,
Whatever.
no,
Push out.
move her to the Olympic
move her.
team.
Yeah, I agree with you. All right. Formula One. I think we can all agree that Max Verstappen is going to win his second title. He's already won 10 races this season.
10 out of 15.
10 out of 15. The record is Schumacher with 13. So
Schumacher and Sebastian Vettel, 13.
13. So it's quite likely that he's going to equal that. But I feel a lot of pain for Lewis Hamilton.
Oh, goodness.
Yes, I do.
Oh,
no,
Lord.
hold on a sec.
Oh,
Hold on a
Lord.
sec. You know, all Lewis Hamilton has left for this season basically is to break or create that record or set that record to be the only Formula One driver to win a race every year since he's been in Formula One. Nobody has done it so far, and he came as close as he could have in this particular race. And then I know he would have done anything to win on Max Verstappen's home turf. So I think we've all seen the expletive laden explosion, when Mercedes didn't get it, because they should have brought him in for a pit stop when the virtual safety car came out and all that. But hey, unfortunately, he dropped from first on the grid with 13 laps to go to fourth, and they'll finish fourth. But I can understand, but congratulations to Max.
I cannot understand. I think that Hamilton has sucked all through this year, and I think he needs to stop, because now when you were winning, when you were dominating Formula One, look, everyone clapped for you.
Yes.
Now that you are not dominating, you need to show some form of maturity. The form of maturity means that, look, when you're not winning, stay out of the news. Hamilton complains about everything.
No, I don't think so.
Before this race, Hamilton has been complaining about everything. Oh, the Mercedes car is not good. But
but hold on a sec. The car's been bad.
But George Russell has been driving that car and hitting podium.
Yeah, but he's not won it.
And I mentioned,
he won a race?
But my point is, Russell has hit more podium finish this year than Hamilton has.
We are Lagos Talks 91.3.
Let's talk.